The views expressed on this podcast are that of the host and may not coincide with your own. Don't let that deter you from listening with an open mind. The UAP report will be printed in mass quantities is to avoid another pandemic shitigate. Lastly, the shit talk is explicit and your virgin mind is about to get probed. Let's get the show started, fuckers.
This film contains adult language. There are 17 swear words carefully placed throughout. Kids, can you find them?
This is the Tempest Universe.
Welcome to the Wednesday episode of the Tempest Universe. As we were speaking about yesterday on this particular podcast, you guys do understand that the Milk Crate Challenge is just another reason to fully engulf yourself in the idea that the world is crazy as hell. We've lost it in so many ways, and the icing on the cake is the Milk Crate Challenge. And listen, I know doctors everywhere are loving this. So many broken ribs, misaligned backs. I seen faces. Face planting on the ground. The best part is when these knuckleheads actually believe it's a good idea to have the Milk Crate Challenge on concrete. Epic stuff. Thank you, Wuhan Flu. I appreciate every contribution that you've done to the podcast over the last two and a half years. It's been a great ride. I can't wait until the next Wuhan Flu and see what happens next. As I mentioned yesterday, yesterday was Science Day. Lots of science in the news. And today we've got UFO news. We got one really fascinating article to talk about out of Pennsylvania. And you know where that, Pennsylvania, home of the old Kecksburg acorn. The one thing about the acorn that really bothers me, and it's every time that we have a UFO sighting or incident historically where the people that actually are witnesses, right? Like they see the first-hand people, not the second-hand, third-hand, fifth generation removed from your 14th, 19th cousin or something like that. The first-hand people, the eyewitnesses that are there, those guys that report seeing strange, writing, like a language, like stuff carved into or etched into whatever this UFO craft is, but none of that is really taken into consideration. Now, I understand we don't all have knowledge of, other languages in the United States, like, Russian and China, especially written language. So, it is very possible that as people try to portray these actors, quote unquote, in the global community as being the ones that could be the ones that have these, the cause of these UFOs through their technology, China and Russia. But the funny thing is that a lot of time when you hear these witnesses and they describe these markings, they don't look like they're from China, and they sure as hell don't look like they're Russian writing either. But no one really talks about that, especially not now, in this day and age, that we're so free. We're like the hippies of UFOs now, the new hippies of UFO. Now we talk about that shit all the time. There's people out there just waiting to get probed, according to Gallup. So why not? Why not? Let's bring up the old shit. Forget about everything that has to do with the Department of Defense and the military. Let's just go back to the ones where we have sketches. We didn't have no fancy FLIR fucking cameras, but for the love of Pete, we have sketches. We got first account event. We've got all that stuff. So why not go back? Okay? Somebody talk to Harry Reid and get Harry Reid to say, hey, maybe some of this money that we're about to dump into the Department of Defense and the Air Force regarding all of this nonsense, maybe that should go to revisiting things from, 20, 30 years ago. Maybe someone should build a database finally that's worth some shit to get these connections, these inferences together, these correlations. Come on, for the love of Pete. Anyway, well, what can you do? We can't solve anything these days. And, the sad thing is that we'll all be dead by the time we figure this out. So, I'm okay with it. Fuck it. I'll kick the bucket. We'll see. See then after that how long it takes. I wonder who's going to run the podcast after that. I need a successor, if you will. Though a lot of people wouldn't want that. Anyway, as we usually do on this podcast, we will get started with a little bit of music in order to, kick the tires and light the fires. So for you guys who like a little bit of the flavor of South America and the Caribbean, this is for you. By the way, as I've mentioned before, Wednesday is Rum Day, so hopefully you enjoyed that last track because you had a nice cold beverage that's flavored by rum. Maybe some ice if you're feeling froggy. Got a Coke if you want to, for fuck's sake. Just do whatever. The first article we're going to talk about is about Tucker Carlson from Fox. And apparently, Tucker gives no fucks about talking about UFOs. So, let's applaud him for that. Tucker, thank you for always being on top of this and bringing what the article claims are shocking revelations about UFO activity. Now, sadly enough, the article does start with a quote from Nick Pope, which I will not read. I do not want to be part of that, to be honest. Because, sometimes he just states the obvious. With a guy that has so much experience, bunny ears, with the Ministry of Defense and researching UFOs, he barely has anything to say. At least nothing useful. I mean, a lot of people feel this way. So I know you Nick Popettes out there are going to be mad as hell because I said that. But, that's the way it is. That is just the way it is. And I just got to say that because otherwise I'd be lying to you guys if I said I loved him. Though sometimes his hair is really fucked up and I kind of like that image. That's all I'm saying. We do have a quote from John Greenwald, regarding the situation that Tucker was talking about, and that is the madness. The madness of the fact that the sightings that were part of this UAP report, a lot of them were centered around vessels that were nuclear powered. John Greenwald says there seems to be an attraction to anything and everything nuclear. Funny thing, right? Because the UFO stories from the military from way back then, over the decades, have been silos that house, nuclear weapons and missiles and things like that, always being buzzed and, missiles and silos being activated, deactivated, and disarmed and armed and all that crazy shit. Which really, when you think about it today, in reading all these incidents, your whole Tic Tac thing and the Omaha thing, you really don't make the connection that some of these things are nuclear powered. And that may be what is attracting these things, whatever they are, these UFOs. So who knows? Who knows? Apparently, an insider from the Washington Examiner actually says that the Pentagon understands, and so does the Unintelligent Committee, and also the other members of Congress, that there is a connection between nuclear weapons, reactors, and the truly unknown UFOs. This is what I was talking about earlier. Somebody built a damn database where you can make some correlations. That's what we need. Now, everyone's into UFOs, right? Because we've known that good old theoretical physicist and author Michio Kaku, that guy, that he's into this stuff. I mean, he's not like the other dude, which will remain nameless, was full of himself. He's openly fascinated by this. He has an interest in it. And it's not just because it's a Russia or Chinese vehicle. I'm sure that's not it. He says for the first time we have videotape which can measure the characteristics of these objects. So this is now real science. Oh yeah, you want evidence? You got it. Take the damn video, run it forwards, backwards, take measurements of things in the foreground, in the background. And you've got measurements. You have actual scientific data in order to figure shit out. Like the Puerto Rico UFO from a few years back. That's what they did. They just went crazy over. I mean, I've seen a report about 50 some odd pages on the UFO report from that incident in Puerto Rico. They estimated that the damn thing is about 5 foot long, but it was moving at about 100 miles per hour, right off the coast of Puerto Rico. But if these things are attracted to nuclear devices, then what the fuck is it doing off the coast of Puerto Rico? That's what I want to know. What was out there? Now, there's a lot of U.S. military installations out there, but if it's nuclear that attracts these bees to the honey, then let's see what's really out there. One of the things that our noted, very famous theoretical physicist Kaku said was that the amount of stresses that a vehicle today would take using any type of metal in going from the ocean into the sky to space and, you know, back and forth and stuff like that, it would rip the metal apart. So if it's man-made, we may have some metamaterial that, Blink-182, Tom DeLonge got his hands on. Maybe that's what these things are made of. It's a very long article. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. But the thing is, listen, media is embracing it slowly but surely. And you got guys, like Kaku, you got Greenwald, and a few other guys who are well known and whose names are becoming synonymous with this situation when it comes to UFOs and the discussions that are being had now, which in the past would have been silent. Well, at least not Greenwald. I mean, that dude, he's never silent about this, but still. It's better to hear from these guys who are taking on this new perspective than the old guard of ufology, like Nick Pope. Like, for fuck's sake, somebody pull him out of the whole thing. It's time to retire these guys. It really is. They're dried up and old. They're done. We need new blood.
I just bang on the set list, going past supper when I came for the breakfast. my soul, got the same on my necklace, bitch.
By the way, I want to say what's up to the guys who are here live in the live chat on Spreaker.com. If you want to get in here live, the time is not, it doesn't bode well for a lot of people because I know a lot of you guys like to be on the clock, on the shitter when you listen to the podcast. I understand, but for you guys who make it to the podcast live Monday and Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Central on Spreaker.com, you can join the chat and you can chat with the Asgardians. We got Green Man, and then myself. I'm in there too. The Norm. We got GameVit, who usually around this time he's on the road listening to the podcast. If you hear any reports of gigantic semis swerving around the Michigan area, that's GameVit. The Norm. We got Dave from Down Under. Yeah, the freaking perpetual lockdown in Australia down there. So I don't even know how Dave is even allowed to use his phone. Because he needs to stay like 6 feet apart from it. We also got Adam Baum is on here. And let's see who else. Getting to the end. That's it. Those are the current Asgardians here live with you, listening to this, if you're listening live. And then there's a closet listener who listens live and really doesn't get in here. Because sometimes it could be, a little brutal in there.
Get down. 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 Get down or I'll put you down. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Hasta la vista, baby.
The rumor is that the rest of the Asgardians may have fallen ill after doing the milk crate challenge, Dre. But I'm not saying anything. Senators are looking to continue the government-led research into strange UFO sightings. Now, we know eventually they had to give us, what the fuck? It's been, actually, today, it's 2 months since we had the useless UAP report. August 25th. It came out June 25th, and we were, well, not everyone, let's be honest. There are some people who are so, thirsty for anything, any kind of acknowledgement from the government. You're basically like that girl who has the fresh new makeup on, ordered it from Japan. And, you want someone to acknowledge that you got the cool lipstick on that changes color based on the temperature or something like that. And nobody says anything. Then all of a sudden, somebody says, oh, your lipstick is dynamite. Well, then you're like glowing. This is what happened. There's people who have spent years, decades, researching this, loving and waiting for the day that they get probed or captured or, anything. And that UAP report gave that to them, so they're all happy about it. And there's shit in there, but they love it. It's good shit. It's acknowledgement, and that's what they feel they need it. But the Intelligence Authorization Act of fiscal year 2022. The Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, they passed it via a unanimous bipartisan vote. And guess what? This is going to continue the useless reporting because members of the unintelligent community are going to be directed to continue to explore the UAP phenomena, or as we like to call it the old school way, fucking UFOs. And the one guy that's really, ecstatic about this is former Democrat representative out of Nevada, Mr. Harry Reid. He says now the American people can handle this. I don't think they can, Harry. I mean, they can't even handle a milk crate laying around before they turn it into some kind of a death wish. He says he's worried about that the government may be trying to hide the information they get. And really, that they need to be transparent. There is no transparency, Harry. Harry Reid, there's nothing. Don't kid yourself in your retirement. Stop fucking around. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. But he's right? That's all we really want. Now, if this is the fabled slow trek to disclosure, which really at the pace that we're going now, I mean, we're looking at another, 50, 60 years maybe at this fucking pace, unless E.T. gets a pair of gonads and just flops it all out there on the table, in the middle of a freaking the front lawn of the White House, or the middle of New York City, though that might be a usual thing over there. We're not going to know. We will not know, and we will stay on this slow churn to disclosure. Now, people will say all the time, we've got disclosure. It's not official, right? Where the fuck is the disclosure? Yeah, I understand. There is an abundance of evidence. There's decades and decades of evidence that this is happening. And really, you can take it past that. You can go to a freaking petroglyph and see fucking UFOs on the damn walls of caves and shit. We can throw that shit in there and say there's hundreds of thousands of years of evidence. But none of it is disclosure. Like, no one on the fucking cave said, hey, I'm disclosing that this is not from our planet. Take 10 steps back, dig under the ground. I left a helmet in there from our alien friends. So that didn't happen then either, so fuck's sake. This is a slow churn. It's going to take for fucking ever. There is a section in here, section 345 of the Unintelligent Authorization Act, that says support for an oversight of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. Just in case you need to reference that whenever this thing gets published somewhere for the public to see. It says that it is going to mandate that the Defense Secretary and National Intelligence Director, that they require each element of the intelligence community in the Department of Defense with data relating to unidentified aerial phenomena to make such data available immediately to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force and to the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. So what? Do you really think anyone's going to lose sleep over this? In any of these folks? No one's going to bust their ass to make this happen. Now, it's going to take, the Department of Defense, the Defense Secretary, and everybody else involved to put some rules down. Because without rules, none of this is going to happen. Someone is going to have to be held accountable for all this information, which we will fucking never see. Unless someone within the Unintelligent Committee or the Defense community really has the brass balls, like Lou Elizondo, to just put it out there. Just grab the damn report, the official report, all the data, and just throw it out there somewhere. Because if it's UAPs and UFOs, guess what? We're not going to figure this shit out anyway. So they're okay with it. So basically, if it's passed, it's also going to direct quarterly reports to Congress. Now, do you think we'll have access to quarterly reports? Probably not. They're not even going to share that shit with us. But we'll have to see what happens, right? Because there is public interest in UFOs, and I hate to say it, But you have to take it back to 4 years ago, almost 5, who knows, to the birth of To the Stars Academy, Tom DeLonge, Lou Elizondo, and if you want to take it a little further back, we can thank Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, because he's a hoarder of information. But his movements and being involved with all these folks that were researching, hiding that they were researching, they all contributed to this, to where we are today. So, hats off to all of them for fucking it up and letting the information go out. And you know what? And since we're on it, we've got to thank the Russians too, because the hackers, they really set the world on fire about UFOs, thanks to a bad password. But still, there is a long trek ahead. Hopefully, this particular act will get the work done. Harry Reid also made a note regarding the current situation when it comes to AEPs, and he says basically we spend a shit ton of money. I'm just ad-libbing for him because I know that's what he meant. We spend a shit ton of money on new military airplanes. They're being spent on, but yet, it is time that the government realizes that this topic is just as important as a new military aircraft. He's got his moments, right, when he's in between meds or he just takes it, so he's got those clarity moments there. But sadly enough, Harry, I'm sure you voted for a lot of this extreme expenditure on $35 billion jets instead of trying to figure out what the hell is up with these UFOs. But there's more to this article. It really gives you a lot more info regarding this act, this unintelligent act continuation. And it's going to be up to the people to keep the pressure on them, especially if they're going to be getting quarterly reports, for them to share with us and let us know what's really going down. But I'm not going to hold my breath, because neither should you. I want to make a correction. The game vet is not in Michigan. He's in Minnesota, so he just popped that in there. See, if you're live, you can correct me. And honestly, if you're out in Michigan right now and you see a swerving truck, it's okay. Don't stop him to get his autograph, because that's not game vet. He's down in Minnesota, for fuck's sake. Minnesota. By the way, I've been following the crazy antics of this, what the fuck is her name in it? Anjali? I don't know. Anjali. You know, the lady that met in the Mojave Desert at the side of a mountain. She met all these aliens and the Committee on Human Relations. I don't know. Maybe they're the Committee on Fucked Up Humans trying to destroy their planet. But she is already threatening to block anyone that challenges her. And it really is not so much a story. I think people are starting to challenge the fact that she's waiting, you know. That she's reaching out to all these popular folks, you know, like George Knapp and all these other accounts, you know, trying to get together this representation of humanity to go into the Mojave and go visit with these folks. And one of the questions was, fuck are you waiting for? Really, if this is such an important message, what are you waiting for? And another one was, you know, basically, why? Just why? And will they even be there? Like, you've been gone from there for some time. If you go back, what's to say they're even going to be there anymore? So, a lot of questions. And like I mentioned yesterday, she is supposed to be on with the Fader Nuts over at Fade to Black, which I believe happens on Wednesdays, like today. So, hopefully some of you listened. It's my New York coming out. Hopefully you guys, you know, listened to Fade to Black by the time you're listening to this, or vice versa, whatever. I think I'm going to catch a little bit of it after the podcast, just so that I can listen to more of her, I don't know, story, I guess. Maybe we can get more than what was in the press conference, because I don't know. I'm not sold. That she meant the anti-human committee in the Mojave, and I feel like those guys are just there to do some body snatching, basically. That's what they're doing. They're trying to assimilate the people that we trust in ufology, and she's going to lead them to the slaughter.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Honestly, I don't even know what the hell the next story is. Oh, Gallup. You know, I love this Gallup thing. Apparently, Gallup has been doing these surveys about UFOs for since like the fucking 40s or something like that. That is a long time for an organization to be asking people questions about damn UFOs. And really, you know, the 40s was a great time to start for Gallup. So, hats off to you guys for not really helping the topic, but at least reporting on it. So Gallup again got together and sent out another question. I never get this, by the way. I don't know who does. This happened July the 6th. Actually, the 6th through 21st of this year. Gallup sent out another UFO survey to find out where the fuck everybody stands. Now, fascinating that this happened after the UAP report came out from the government, so there you go. And then, of course, they noticed an uptick. Well, of course you would. Like, you should have done it the 24th, and then maybe July, so that we could see. But the one before that they completed, that they're comparing their latest results to, was for 2019. And according to this, Americans, by and large, are starting to believe a little more. They're starting to think that maybe these things that the government is reporting on, maybe these are fucking aliens. Back in August of 2019, 33% of respondents believe that these spacecrafts, these UFOs, were of an alien nature. Up 41% in the 2 years. since that report back in 2019, which is weird, right? Because honestly, these fucking people don't watch TV. And they don't watch TV. They're not on YouTube. They're probably people that Starlink has not reached yet. They went to South America, into the bush, into the rainforest, and all those people that hadn't gotten the porn yet from Starlink, those are the people that they questioned. I would think that after this UAP report, there would have been a larger uptick from 2019. So I don't know. Who the fuck are you picking? Makes no sense. Anyway, the amount of people that say all explained by human activity or natural phenomena, that's actually down 10% or 10 points. 10 percentage points. So that's quite the reversal. More people disbelieve that it's a natural phenomena or human beings. And it's nuts. It is nuts. Of course, there are folks that have no fucking opinion at all. That's up by 2%. I'm surprised there's not a lot more people with zero opinion after fucking Wuhan. After the Wuhan flu, sometimes you're just dumbfounded. You can't think of anything that makes sense, so you end up there like a deer in headlights. One of the things that the other report back in 2019 showed that the educated college graduates, and I swear to God, I think I covered this back in 2019 on UFO Buster Radio. But back in, at that time, college graduates, the smart people, they actually believed less in alien spacecrafts. Now, 10% jump. All the schmuts, the guys with the schmuts are now believing in aliens. So check that out. It'd be great if one day we could look on this fucking report and it'll be 70% or some crazy number like that. But we're not going to get there. But yet, some folks that have some kind of college, you got out of high school, you had nothing to do, you didn't want to go to the military, so you took 4 classes, then you drop out of that, and now you're working in fast food. So, folks with some college, you just didn't finish it, jumped from 40 to 49%. You got to believe in something, because you didn't believe in your education. I'm just saying. 49% of those folks believe that UFOs, some of them have been alien aircraft. That's fucking amazing, to be honest. And folks with no education whatsoever, no college, no college education, it actually jumped by 4 percentage points from 35 to 39. So there is an impact here. People are believing more that these UFOs, the UAP report, the Tic Tac videos, the gimbal, Go Fast, and the Omaha videos, they all probably played an important part in showing people there's some fucked up shit out there that we can't explain. And your own government can't explain it, nor can the folks who have trained their entire career to be able to identify aircraft. They can't explain it either. Completely nuts. Adults 55 and older are more likely than younger adults to be skeptical, which is weird, right? Because UFOs started back in the day, but that could be everything, right? It could be social media, it could be the entertainment media, it could be all those things that these younger people are kind of used to, Godzilla and Mechagodzilla and, things like that. So they're okay with it now. And the older guys, they've got problems, so they're not going to believe. They're a bit more skeptical, which, again, you don't have to be completely skeptical. Skepticism is great, but you literally have to deny that there's an entire fucking universe out there with the possibilities of another Earth being somewhere can be quite significant. But, at the 55 or older, you're about to kick the bucket anyway. So we'll fix those numbers in due time. And some people also view UFOs and spacecrafts as being actual and factual altogether overall over 8 percentage points since 2019. So listen, it's good numbers. This is more evidence of that slow disclosure I was talking about in the other article. This is it, slow churning. If every 2 years we add 10% more, for fuck's sake, that'll take us maybe, 14, 15 years down the road, 16, about 8 years before we can reach some real good numbers. So listen, this is disclosure, the slow pace. But it's not until someone gets probed publicly or someone in office that, those numbers are not going to have a significant jump. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where it goes on. There's more in there, more data. For you guys who love data, it gives you, that warm and fuzzy, because you can build correlations and define the audience that you are more comfortable with, that share your beliefs. Check it out. It's in the description. Gallup is working it, man. Gallup is working it.
I've been in your waters. I'm looking for sure. I've never been so close before. It's one way or the other.
By the way, this Saturday on YouTube's, and then later on the podcast, audio only, we'll have the Sagittarius witch Addy. She will be with us. If you haven't seen the image yet on Instagram, a little promo I did. Well, we're going to do some more, get some more out there, and make sure that everyone has the link through social media so that you can have this tarot card experience. We're going to do it this time. We're going to stay fucking focused. I mean, every time that we've had, Addie on or Charlotte, the Renaissance Witch, we seem to get lose track of what we're doing. But still, this time is not going to happen that way. We're going to have some tarot cards. You guys will be able to chime in or type in any questions. Because, it's all about the energy, man. It's that energy that you put out that speaks to the tarot cards and the Sagittarius Witch in order to, deal up your future. Man, it's going to be fascinating. I see a lot of movies about tarot cards, and I'm not really sure that I fully believe in tarot cards, but you just got to experience it. That's all I can say. So bring your questions, bring your concerns about the future to YouTube. Saturday, it will be 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you just want to say hi or just come by and, watch for a little bit, great. But subscribe. Just get on there and subscribe. Get your notification bell going, because slowly but surely, kind of like Disclosure, we're going to fully make the transition over. I got some new equipment coming in. I got lights, cameras. It's going to be all about the action, baby. It really is. So get ready for that, because it's on its way. This last article is quite fascinating to me. If you look at the image for this particular episode, it is the Kecksburg Acorn UFO. Now, a lot of people say that was an aircraft that crashed from space, a capsule that might have been Russian. But then others say, hey, I saw it. It was not fucking Russian. No. That's Bugs in the background, by the way. He's back up here. Came up during the break. It turns out that a local man in Punxsutawney by the name of Gary Barrett, he's working, believe it or not, in central Pennsylvania as a campaign manager for Republican John Ventre, or Ventre, I don't know. I don't know how French he wants to get. But John is actually throwing his hat into the ring for governor of Pennsylvania next year. And Gary is helping him out. Now, so what? You're thinking, so what? What does this have to do with the Kecksburg Acorn? Well, it turns out that Gary not only does he live in Pennsylvania, not only is he hooking up with the governor to try to get, the future governor, a candidate, in order to get elected, but he shared several interests with him. One of them being is that good old Gary was actually a witness to the Kecksburg UFO. He said he was 13 when it happened. 13. And he reached a point where he was doing a lot of damn research. A lot of research. And somehow he ended up getting in contact with the candidate for governor of Pennsylvania way back in the day. And mind you, Gary, through all his UFO research, eventually became a multi-state director of MUFON. Fucking nuts. That is nuts. So here you go, someone who claims, I don't know if fucking Gary was there or not, but still, he says he witnessed it. It led to a lot of research. It also led him to being the director of MUFON. And in the midst of all of that, he actually shared his theories with the guy that could possibly be next year elected as governor for Pennsylvania. Now this Ventre guy, he is no Johnny come lately, because during the time before all of this, Gary and him shared a lot of theories about UFOs and even got together and wrote a white paper on it. Crazy. But it doesn't end there, because the future candidate in the gubernatorial race for Pennsylvania has also been a guest on Ancient Aliens. What the hell is going? Ancient Aliens apparently has all the people in it. Like literally. You look at Skinwalker Ranch, some dude in there, a couple dudes in there, like Dragon, the security guy, he appeared in Ancient Aliens. The UFO bros. No, did they appear in Ancient Aliens? No, probably not. But they should. They should be in it. But listen, there's just so many people that I've come across, especially during the UFO Buster radio time, that were either being considered to be on Ancient Aliens or have appeared in Ancient Aliens. And now, for fuck's sake, now we got someone running for governor who appeared in Ancient Aliens. So these guys shared this common belief and theories enough for them to write that paper, and now enough for Gary to be part of this race for governor in supporting, Ventry or Ventry in getting that spot, running the entire damn state. But it goes to show you that, UFOs is no longer, the stigma is really falling far, far away. And hey, the fact that this guy was able to, out of Punxsutawney, to actually get this interview on here, to mention all this stuff, it kind of speaks to the fact that it's maybe not as taboo as it used to be. Now you can run to fucking governor and have people talk about how much of an alien head you are. Fuck, it might just work for him. It might be the thing that gets him elected. Now, Gary Barrett, so even though he was part of MUFON, the director for MUFON, and he had this amazing incident, allegedly, having to do with the Kecksburg UFO, he's also someone that's he's a mechanical engineer, actually electrical and mechanical engineer, who for many years worked for Westinghouse Electric Corporation. So this is not someone who would be unfamiliar to mechanical things and things that have to do with any electrical nature. I'm sure he didn't have that knowledge as a 13-year-old, but for fuck's sake, sometimes folks who experience actual UFO situations, things that cannot be explained no matter what the fuck you do, those experiences get etched in their minds, and they take that throughout life, just like Gary Barrett did. And I'm sure that a lot of the fact that he went into this whole engineering forum with electrical and mechanical, a lot of that had to do with the questions he had about what he experienced. And now, he shared that with his buddy, who may one day be the governor of that wonderful state. UFOs make for strange bedfellows, and so we've already learned that having someone that is open about the topic next year in a position to become governor should be hopefully fruitful, as the Congress and everybody else in government slowly open their minds to the idea, with allegedly quarterly reports, that this is a real situation. And again, Kecksburg, one of those UFOs with the strange writing. And I would think, if you look at the image that kind of replicates the writing, that shit does not look Russian. It really doesn't. No, it doesn't look Chinese. So what the hell was it? And, a lot of people will tell you that it was a man-made spacecraft, but then there are others who say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Joe. That was a real UFO. But it is what it is. This is the end of the podcast. You want to read more about these two guys that are going to be blowing it up big when it comes to the governor's race next year? Check out the link in the description. Don't forget, on Saturday, 9 p.m. Central, if you're not drunk, passed out somewhere, join us on YouTube. Get your tarot card on. And thank you guys for listening. Spread the word. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Whatever they tell you to do on YouTube, which I'll be telling you on Saturday. But in other words, ciao.
Yeah, know I'm sturdy like a Millie Rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket, don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket, it sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade the noggin. Russell Wilson way I get along and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, I can't do no time, don't leave that gun around. In my teens, we were acting up and running around. Now we're grown, still get to it if it's necessary. On the ground from January to January. Never met nobody who retired when they were young. So I guess I gotta get it to the cemetery. Getting paid just for rapping is fun. I lit up around a month in every February. Told him side, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told him slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple of money in my head just to say they did it. Can't lie, I'm so paranoid and the windows tinted. I own everything around me, you can say it's rented. Not talking phone numbers when I'm talking 7 digits. Earn it by the day, every second minute. Used to pay me none, look, now they pay attention. Everybody say they drip, but I banded it. See them copy all the looks, but I stay switching. Pick up the loot, then hit the bank. Can't never change, still wrote the change. Captain say the pay, this ain't the day. They made me wait, I'm breaking chains. Yeah. Tell me feeling bubbly off the rose. Took a minute, but I got it out the slow way. Friends turn to foes, haters tell them go away. Rappers making shiggy dance like a soul train. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777.
Now start claiming your time
this asshole.